Welcome to historic Darlington Raceway, NASCAR's first super speedway, nicknamed the Lady in Black, the track too tough to tame. They've been racing here for over a half-century, and in our cutting-edge, techno-crazed world, Darlington's secure in its identity as an ancient and legendary sports venue. You might think of Darlington the same way you'd think of, say, Fenway Park in Boston or Wrigley Field in Chicago. The Yankee Stadium still echoes with the sights and sounds of past champions and memorable characters. And so, too, does this South Carolina egg-shaped track. Curtis Turner won the first pole at Darlington. The King, Richard Petty, won here 3 times. Cale Yarborough won 5 times, but not here, making his own exit lane. Today's drivers appreciate all the legends. They understand that over the next few hours, they'll be battling each other and also going one-on-one with the walls of this famous place. If their car hits the wall, they earn the Darlington stripe, but if their car captures the checkered flag, they carve out a place in history, a history that runs proud and deep. Fox Sports welcomes you to Darlington Raceway and Winston Cup Racing, presented by Michelin. Time now for our pre-race show. Our corporate headquarters, the Hollywood Hotel, parked inside Turn 1 near the end of Pit Road. We go to where the races are to bring you closer to the action. And weather permitting, we're ready for a great day of racing as a track built to handle cars going 95 miles per hour today. We'll see cars going wall-to-wall at over 170 miles per hour. Hi, I'm Chris Myers, and for all of us here on the crew, welcome to the pre-race show. 400 miles, 293 laps. We'll have a new champion, but even as we look ahead, we can't escape the past. On the same day that Dale Jarrett celebrates his 500th career start and Bill Elliott his 700th career start, we still have a first-time pole sitter in Elliott Sadler. So a lot of challenges on this track. Nice to welcome in. Always good to saddle up with Darrell Waltrip and Jeff Hammond. Nice to see you guys.
Yep. Good to be here.
You've had success on this track, and I'll start with you. When you see young guys like Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch, who are fearless drivers, they have to be careful when they attack a track like this.
Well, they really do, Chris. You know, you need to have attitude whenever you come to a place like Darlington, but the problem is you got to be careful that attitude doesn't get you in trouble. I mean, a challenge is what you want. These guys love a good challenge, but you got to be careful when it comes to the Lady in Black.
And Darrell, this track symbolizes growth and change, history, tradition in NASCAR all at the same time.
Yeah, this place is about open face helmets, racing in T-shirts, driving in hush puppies. That's what the drivers here did. This is the joint where you used to have wine for dinner, not with dinner. And that's what this track's all about. It's a history of our sport, and it's gone through incredible change. You see here starting this race with 80 cars in the race, 3 wide. The guy that won this race started 43rd. You say, well, that's not too bad. There were 80 cars in the race.
Is it a track that's held up over time? It hasn't outlived its usefulness? Because drivers say, hey, this is a place where you earn respect among your peers.
Oh, no, you know, if this joint is a lady, then it must be Cruella de Vil. That's the only thing I can think of.
You don't want to hang with her.
Because you don't want to mess with her, I'm telling you.
What she'll do, she'll lure you right up to that wall and say, come on, baby, just touch me a little bit, and she gives you that kiss, and usually it's a kiss of death.
Yep, the black stripe on the wall, thus the Lady in Black. All right, let's hear from the pole sitter who's getting ready to get behind the wheel. Elliott Sadler's only career win at Bristol, but he was second here last year. He's with Matt Yoka. Matt?
Chris, Elliott Sadler scored his first career NASCAR and Winston Cup pole here at NASCAR's first super speedway. This track has so much history. Your car was great for 1 lap, but how is it going to be over the long run here, Elliott?
I tell you what, Matt, I think it was pretty good. We ran 20 laps yesterday in happy hour, and I got a plug check, and that was it. And that was we got a lot of adjustability built in it because you know the clouds are going to be a little different today in the heat, but just so proud of this M&M's Ford racing team and Ray Bestis and everybody stood behind us. To get a pole this early in the season was good, and it's a lot of tradition at this track, so it'd be very special to try to go to Victor Lane here with Robert Yates.
He couldn't start at a better place 19 times. The winner has started at the pole, but it's happened only once in the last 19 races. He hopes to change that today. Chris?
All right, thanks. So they were racing 25 years before at this track, before Elliott Sadler was even born. So there's some of the history. But, but Darrell, take us through what Elliott, some of the drivers are going to feel on this track. And we know it's tough on tires, but how you maneuver yourself through the traffic here.
What makes this place difficult, there's only one groove.
Okay.
It's not multi-grooved. And the groove is right up next to the wall. Now, the reason we run up there next to the walls here these days is because the cars are going so fast. Trying to use every bit of the racetrack that there is available. But what happens to you, because you run so close to that wall, you're always scuffing into it. But now the good news is, right in the center of these corners where you hit the wall a lot or bump the wall a lot, you're not going that fast. It'll put a stripe on the side of the car, but you can keep on going. The trick is to not hit it so hard that it knocks you out of the race.
All right, and we see Jeff Gordon, and he has owned this track, been as comfortable as his own driveway. Jeff Gordon starts from the 3rd row, and coming off his 2nd place finish last week in Atlanta, he might be ready to win here for what would be the 7th time. Last year, Gordon won the fall race at Darlington, finishing ahead of Sadler, whom we just heard from. In fact, in the last 3 races at Darlington, Gordon has led the most laps of anybody. Jeff has called this a true driver's track. His success last year, he hopes to have more of it. Jeff is standing by with Steve Burns.
Boy, you're right, Chris. And Jeff Gordon has led in total nearly 1,300 laps and 15 of the last 16 Darlington events. Jeff, that begs the question, why are you so good at this racetrack?
I have no idea. I've always liked this racetrack. It kind of reminds me of the way we used to race Winchester and Salem, some of the tracks in Indiana with the midgets and sprint cars. But, you know, my team's just always given me really great race cars here. I think our qualifying up front has certainly played a role in that, and certainly has played a role in leading laps. You know, and I think it's just a track that you have to really give and take and be patient and race the racetrack and not really race the competitors.
Best of luck today, Jeff.
All right, thank you.
Let's go to Dick Berggren.
Jerry Nadeau has been fast this weekend since the team unloaded his race car. He equaled his best ever qualifying effort and will go off 3rd today. Fastest in one of the 3 practice sessions. How about it, bud? You ready to go get him?
I'm pretty excited. The guys have done a super job all week. You know, the U.S. Army Pontiac Grand Prix, we've been struggling the last 2-3 races, but it seems like this weekend we've really turned things around. We've changed a lot of things on the car and had a great qualifying run, good practice lap. So hopefully we get that U.S. Army car close to victory lane this week.
All right, good luck to you. Chris?
All right, thanks, Dick. And how about it? You know, so far in the 4 races, won by 2 Fords, 2 Chevys. Pontiac has yet to come through. Could this be the day?
Well, it could very easily because, again, Jerry Nadeau has really made a great start as far as qualifying is concerned. And I think right now, talking to Ryan Pemberton, his crew chief, as well as Pete Wright, they feel like he's got his mind really, you know, focused on what's going on. As you can see right now, Ford guys are leading the Manufacturers Championship. They had 14 top 10s. Chevrolet's next, and Pontiac's at the bottom of the list. But you got to realize there's not a lot of Pontiac teams out there.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, if you just took the driver lineup for each manufacturer and you saw the names on those for Chevrolet, for Ford, for Dodge, and Pontiac, who's going to win all the races?
It obviously looks like it's going to be Chevrolet because they've got some of the best drivers. I mean, it's kind of like the New York Yankees. They've gone out and they've got the top drivers right now, and that's kind of lopsided.
And here's one other thing. The wind tunnel number, you know, people talk about take the cars to wind tunnel. Jeff and I have been talking about this. NASCAR is waiting for these teams to get their cars as good as they think they can get them, and I think the Pontiac really stepped up this weekend.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye and see how well they do in today's race. If you want to be the official Grand Marshal at a Winston Cup race, enter the Be a NASCAR Grand Marshal for a Day contest. Tune in the first hour after the green flag drops. Look for the secret number on the animated car, then log on to NASCAR.com or FoxSports.com. The winner will start the race, ride on the pace car, wave the checkered flag next year at the Rock, and then be a NASCAR Grand Marshal for a Day contest. And you'll see that today on Fox. And you'll also see coming up, Joe Gibbs will take a look at his success at the Super Bowl and here in NASCAR from Darlington.